A black man named Marcus Holloway kissed his wife, Alina, goodbye before leaving for his night shift. Nothing strange, nothing unusual, just their normal routine. She whispered, "Be safe." And he told her he'd be back before she knew it. The door closed, and life moved forward. Or so he thought. The next morning, Marcus pushed open the front door expecting the usual sounds of home. The kettle boiling, Alina humming, sunlight spilling across a normal day. But the house was too quiet, too still. "Babe?" he called out. Silence answered. Her car was in the driveway. Her purse was still inside. Her phone was charging. Her slippers were by the bathroom. Everything was exactly where she left it, except she was gone. Panic clawed up his chest. He called her sister. Nothing. Her job, she hadn't shown up. No one knew anything. Desperate, his hands shaking, he called the police. The officers who arrived walked around with the same tired energy they used for every missing persons call. Detached, procedural, already suspicious of him. They asked him the routine questions. Did you two argue? Was the marriage stable? Any chance she ran away? No, Marcus kept repeating. Please, she wouldn't just leave. They spread out to question neighbours. And then, the moment that destroyed his life. A white neighbour, Gregory Hale, opened his door and casually said, "I heard a loud thump last night." That was it. No details, no proof, just one vague comment. But it was enough. Within an hour, officers turned around and arrested Marcus on the spot. No body, no evidence, just a stereotype and a sound. Headlines labelled him a murderer. Prosecutors painted him as a violent husband. The court convicted him on pure assumption. And so Marcus Holloway, a man who went to work like any other night, was locked in a cage for 20 years. He lost everything. His freedom, his home, his dignity, and worst of all, the woman he loved. He held onto his wedding ring, whispered her name every night, and kept believing she was still alive, even when the world mocked him for it. Nobody could have imagined how right he was. 20 years later, police received a welfare call for none other than Gregory Hale, the same neighbour who had heard the thump. He hadn't been seen for days, and packages piled up on his porch. Officers broke in and found him lying on the floor, half conscious, suffering from what appeared to be a severe stroke. As paramedics worked, 2 officers searched the house. Everything looked normal, until one of them heard something faint and eerie. Tap, tap, tap. A weak rhythmic tapping coming from beneath the floor. They followed the sound into a cluttered hallway and found a door half hidden behind boxes, a door leading down to the basement. The tapping grew louder as they descended. At the bottom was another door, heavy, padded with soundproofing, secured with 2 locks. "Is someone in there?" one officer whispered. With shaking hands, they unlocked it and pushed the door open. What they saw didn't seem real. A small, windowless room, a thin mattress, old food cans, a rusted chain bolted into the wall, a tripod meant for recording. And in the corner, curled up and blinking against the sudden light, was Alina Holloway, alive, traumatized, still tapping for help. Her voice cracked as she whispered, "Please, my name is Alina Holloway, my husband. He didn't do anything. Tell him, please." It was the same voice Marcus had sworn he would hear again. They rushed her to the hospital. Meanwhile, the truth unravelled. Gregory Hale had kidnapped her the night Marcus left for work. He built a soundproof room to keep her hidden. He brought her food, kept her under control, and ensured the world forgot she ever existed. For 20 years she tapped on the walls and pipes, hoping, praying someone would hear her. But the room swallowed every sound until, by some miracle, his medical emergency left one lock improperly secured. When Marcus arrived at the hospital and saw her sitting on the bed, thin and pale but alive, he dropped to his knees. He didn't cry. He collapsed, overwhelmed by 20 years of stolen time being returned in a single heartbeat. She reached out and touched his face. "You never gave up on me," she whispered. I knew you were out there, he said through broken breath. The state overturned his conviction immediately, but no court, no apology, no news headline could give back the years they lost. The years she spent in darkness. The years he spent in a cell for a crime that never happened. Later, when investigators searched the basement again, they found marks scratched into the wall, thousands of them, forming a message carved with fading hope. I'm still here. For 20 long years, no one heard her. Until finally, someone did.